How to get interested in learning any subject. Interest is a powerful motivational process that energizes learning, guides academic and career trajectories, and is essential to academic success. Adults have multifaceted motivation for learning, and may not require interests. Expecting a good career development and high salary is good enough to motivate you to learn something new. However, for your kids, you can't force them to learn something they are not interested in. You always need to develop their interests first. The easiest subjects to develop interests are the ones that are both fun and easy to start with. For example, listening to music can generate dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, which can bring lots of fun to life. Many children from musician families can get interested in music very early because there is a good musical environment. However, not all music-related subjects are easy to learn. Learning something difficult could be a torture to your kids. Singing, piano, drums, and harmonica are very easy to start with, and could be a good gateway subject to help your children get interested in music. Other easiest subjects to start with include sporting games. Exercise and sports can generate serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins, which can keep your kids excited. Soccer could be the easiest and most fun sporting game to start with. It's also a good team sport that could be a good gateway subject to help you kids get interested in sports. Painting could also be a good subject for your kids. Kids like bright colors, but not all kids like to sit and draw. You may need to take some time to develop their interests. There is a phenomenon that when people learn more and practice more about a subject, and have made some achievements, it's more likely they will get more interested in the subject. This also applies to your kids. Consistency is the key. As for academic learning, like language, math, science, and social studies, here are some tricks to help your kids develop interests in those subjects. Kids like stories, bright colors, beautiful songs, and games. To make them interested in language, you can read wonderful stories with them with interesting voices. The books should be colorful enough to attract their attention. You can also teach them beautiful songs with good rhythms and lyrics. When your kids grow older, they can try to write their own stories, poems, and lyrics. They can also attend classes for public speaking, presentation, debate, etc. To make them interested in math, you need to play a lot of math games with them, like guessing numbers, shopping, and math-related board games like dominoes, cribbage, Monopoly, Yahtzee, etc. There are also lots of video or mobile math games that are very fun to play, like Prodigy Math, Odd Squad, etc. If you can show them how to learn math and solve math problems in the best and easiest way, they can get more interested in math as well. In the following series of videos, we can introduce all the best tricks and techniques to learn math with ease. Just subscribe to our channel and watch our videos. To make your kids interested in science, you can sit with them to watch interesting videos about science and experiments. Watch sci-fi cartoons and movies, or let them play STEM games and do science experiments. STEM is the short for science, technology, engineering, and math. There are also lots of video or mobile science games that are very fun to play, like The Magic School Bus, Play and Learn Science, etc. In the following series of videos, we can also introduce all the best tricks and techniques to learn science with ease. The key components of social studies include history, geography, economics and financial literacy, civics, and government. To make your kids interested in social studies, you may need to make more effort. For history, you can tell interesting stories about people and events in history. History becomes a lot more interesting when you help your kids connect what they're learning to things that are happening now. For geography, you can travel with your kids to different places in the world and visit famous landmarks. You can also get a globe or a world map for them to explore. For economics and financial literacy, it's usually introduced much later in the school years. There are some good board games and video games that you can play together, like Monopoly, The Sims, Civilization, etc. For civics and government, it's primarily focusing on the relationships between governments and individuals, and international relations. This is not a fun topic, but your kids could get interested in the subject by doing projects, joining simulations and debates, attending field trips, and discussing current events, etc. To make your kids interested in a subject that you want them to learn. This is not an easy task. Sometimes, you may need to think of creative ways. However, when they really get interested in the subject, Their inner motivation will do all the work, and they are more open to learn about the subject. Then, you can show them all the best ways and techniques to learn those subjects, which can make them more interested and learn better. On the Blue Eden Project platform, we are trying to gather all the best solutions and great ideas for learning each subject, and share them to all people in the world, totally for free. To make it easy to understand, let's have an example. Math is the most common subject that you can learn from schools. It takes more than 12 years to learn all the concepts and knowledge about math during school years. Even so, many students still don't have a good understanding about math. However, if you know the best way to learn math, it can take significantly less time to learn all the important concepts and knowledge. Then, you have plenty of time to apply what you have learned in real life. Here is another example. Computer programming, or coding, is a very useful skill. But most schools don't teach that subject. You need to spend lots of money to learn that subject from private tutors or institutions. If you follow the textbooks to learn, it may take many years to learn coding. However, if you know the best way to learn coding, it will take much less time to learn all the important concepts and knowledge. Then, you have plenty of time to apply what you have learned in real life. Now you understand the importance of the best ways for learning. However, it's not an easy task to develop a systematic way to learn each subject. Here are some considerations. 1. The teaching resources or learning materials should be very well organized. Fundamental concepts should be learned at first. If you don't know how to count numbers, it's impossible to learn math. Then, similar contents should be grouped together for easier learning and understanding. There should also be different learning stages or steps to learn each group of concepts and knowledge. Some concepts and knowledge are the building blocks for the other ones. If you don't learn the foundational concepts and knowledge, you can't learn the more advanced topics. For example, in math, you can only learn multiplication after you learn how to use addition. If you don't know about addition, there is no way you can understand multiplication. 2. The teaching resources or learning materials should include all the best tricks or techniques to memorize important concepts and knowledge. In many cases, to learn is just to memorize things. For example, in math, you need to memorize all the addition and multiplication tables. Otherwise, how can you calculate fast? How to best memorize those tables is the key. If you don't know the tricks, it may take you more than a year to memorize. If you know the best ways, it may only take you several weeks to memorize. That's a big difference. 3. The teaching resources or learning materials should provide adequate and well-designed practices to help assimilate the concepts and knowledge. If you only learn but without good practice, you may forget 90% of what you have learned. Practice is very important to learn any subject. There are lots of expensive books that only provide practical questions, answers, and explanations. Only well-designed practice can help you best understand and apply the concepts and knowledge that you have learned. In our YouTube channel, we will create 2 series of videos to teach each subject in the best way. The first one is Super Learning for Kids K-12. The second one is Super Learning for Adults Lifelong Learning. Join Blue Eden Project, achieve a better life, and build a better world. Thank you for watching.